What's going on, guys? Welcome to Everything Always. My name's Michael Roman. Now, when Marvel was able to produce a movie like Guardians of the Galaxy surrounding a completely unknown retro space team and release it to both fan and critical success, that only further highlighted the goings-on over at Fox and how badly they were failing at a Fantastic Four movie and then the subsequent reboot. And now that the team has joined Marvel Studios and CCO Kevin Feige has confirmed their imminent arrival in an upcoming slate, we have a brand new report from an industry insider packed with intel on how Marvel Studios plans to make good on what Fox couldn't get right about the Fantastic Four, including the inclusion of a friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. We're going to break down where this report's coming from, what it says about Marvel Studios' plans for the first family, and what it means for Marvel Phase 4 and 5 when we can expect to see this film with a Tom Holland crossover to boot. But first, if you could grab the subscribe button, we're giving away 2 PlayStation 4 Pros, as well as a whole slew of other Marvel-related stuff, including a limited edition Infinity Saga box set. If you want to be entered to win, all you got to do, hit the subscribe button, then hit the notification bell, leave a like and a comment on this video, and if you want, stick around to the end of the video. We'll get into all the giveaway stuff again there. So today's report actually comes from industry insider Mikey Sutton, and for those of you who aren't familiar with his work, Mikey Sutton made a name for himself in the scoop industry by being the first person to break that Spider-Man would show up in Captain America Civil War. He also called Black Panther's appearance as well. He's also a contributing writer over at comicbookmovie.com. He has this to say about what's going on over at Marvel Studios and their direction for the Fantastic Four. Whether you like it or not, Fantastic Four's film lacked the budget and visionary detail that the original Stan Lee, Jack Kirby, and the subsequent iconic John Byrne run had. Galactus as a cosmic cloud ended up among science fiction's biggest fails, but Marvel Studios will not make the same errors. No writer or director has been selected yet, but talks have begun on how the Fantastic Four will be brought onto the big screen in epic fashion. Inside sources have told Sutton that the current plan is to bring the Fantastic Four back to basics, finding their essence and what makes them different in the MCU. Firstly, they're not a team like the Avengers, they're a family, and that's something which will be emphasized in this franchise. Secondly, unlike the Avengers, they're explorers. Each Fantastic Four movie will find them journeying into strange lands, worlds, and dimensions. Insiders tell Sutton that the origin will be tweaked a little bit. What they're talking about is Fantastic Four acquiring their powers while on a mission to the Negative Zone, and whether the Negative Zone is actually part of the quantum realm remains to be seen, but the possibility of that is high, and if so, could place their introduction into Ant-Man 3, which, quick aside, lines up with a ton of reports that we've already had in the last 6 months. He goes on to say Marvel Studios wants to build up Doctor Doom, the Silver Surfer, and even Galactus, but that freshness is the key, and that at least for the first Fantastic Four film, they're brainstorming having Mole Man as the initial antagonist, paying homage to the Fantastic Four #1. Not only that, but Reed Richards' new protege, Peter Parker, will try to join the Fantastic Four as well. That is absolutely insane news, but makes a lot of sense for a Peter Parker and especially Tom Holland that has a sharing agreement that includes Spider-Man 3 and one other disclosed movie. And if Marvel Studios truly makes the choice to cross Peter Parker over with the Fantastic Four for one more MCU film before they send him packing on a one-way trip over to Sony, then this would be amazing, pun intended, homage to Spider-Man 1 when he first met the team, and then all the times later, especially in the modern era where he's crossed over with the Fantastic Four, which is plenty. Now, Mikey Sutton's actually a friend of the channel. I reached out and we've spoken about this leak. He's been candid enough with me as much as he can be, and outside of the confirmations of the details that were reported here and the other stuff we talked about, the one thing that him and I share in common, probably with most of you, is desperately wanting a Fantastic Four film that does the franchise justice, especially considering just how bad the past 2 iterations have been. Now, getting into some of the other details of the leak and quickly, understanding that the Fantastic Four get their powers usually from outer space, but that we've been there in a cosmic sense and the quantum realm is completely unexplored. The Negative Zone was not the origin for the powers in the comics, but we know from seeing Janet Van Dyne the first time in Ant-Man and the Wasp that she made sure to mention that that realm helped her evolve, that it had changed her and she had gained sort of powers, something that they didn't go into completely. And with all the mystery surrounding this realm, I think it would be an amazing connective piece for them to use the quantum realm, explain that they've been exploring there inside that space instead of outer space, where a lot of key villains that could show up in the upcoming phases have ties, and especially to the Fantastic Four, villains like Annihilus and even Immortus King the Conqueror. We need a lot more time to see what's going on in the quantum realm, and the Fantastic Four could be the perfect team to do that with their exploration background. This is also probably the perfect time to mention that the only Easter egg we've seen from Black Widow so far that's caused any real questions looks to be Pym particles. We saw that in the very last trailer, and we did a video on this covering it last week. But if Pym particles are remaining in the MCU, then the quantum realm is definitely tied to that, and we should be traveling there. Now, of course, it would be crazy to see that in Black Widow, but it does appear as though Marvel Studios is continuing the theme of everything related to the quantum realm, leading us to believe there's a good chance we'll see it soon. Now, speaking of seeing it soon, how soon could we see this Fantastic Four film? And it makes me wonder if Marvel isn't trying desperately to get the wheels in motion to make sure that this movie can get released by that 4th release slot in 2022. I made this comment the other day in a video, and some of you may remember that it's insane to me that Marvel is going to go this many years between an Avengers Endgame and another Avengers film, let alone a marquee franchise. And for those of you who will immediately take to the comments to say that Spider-Man is a marquee franchise, of course it is, but outside of Spider-Man, which is under a sharing agreement being distributed by Sony, coming out every other year, if they wait for Avengers Endgame from 2019 all the way to say 2024 to release the Fantastic Four, or even 2023, then you've gone 4 years, almost a full half decade, without putting out one of your major marquee team-ups. And with 4 release slots left for 2022, and 3 of them already taken from the best of our knowledge, Ant-Man, Black Panther, and Captain Marvel 2, could it be that Marvel Studios is looking to release Fantastic Four in that November slot or sometime around Christmas in 2022, which would be an absolute blockbuster and makes sense, only leaving 3 years between 2 major team-up franchises? One final thought I'll leave you guys with after speaking to Mikey a little more in depth about this leak and some specific details. He did mention, and to the best of his knowledge, that John Krasinski and Emily Blunt are still first on the list to be cast as Mr. Fantastic and Sue Storm, and you can be sure that even if I'm off with the late 2022 thing and this is an early 2023 release, that the casting for this movie is going to begin very soon, and that they're going to start moving the wheels on screenwrites and directors. I would anticipate we're going to hear some major news about this coming out in the next 6 months, and at the absolute latest at this year's San Diego Comic-Con, which is going to be sure to make huge headlines. Guys, let me know what you think in the comments about all of this. Peter Parker crossing over into a Fantastic Four film as his last movie in the MCU and the second movie on his sharing agreement with Sony. Doesn't that just make the most sense? Makes a lot more sense than a Captain Marvel 2 film. Also, how do you feel about some of the specifics in this? The quantum realm being the place that they explore in the origin of their powers rather than the typical outer space, or even the introduction of Mole Man as the first antagonist. I have no idea how Marvel Studios would modernize Mole Man, and maybe they'll make him some sort of hybrid villain like they did with Ego and Hela. But either way, let me know all your thoughts in the comments, and quickly, let's get into the giveaway stuff before I let you go. We're still giving away 2 PlayStation 4 Pros, the next of which is at the 600,000 subscriber mark. We just gave 1 away at the 550 mark and 2 away at the 500,000 subscriber mark. If you want to be entered to win, all you have to do, hit the subscribe button, then hit the notification bell, leave a like and a comment on this video, and that automatically enters you to win the PlayStations and all of the rest of the prizes we're giving away here at the channel, including the limited edition Infinity Saga box set. We just gave 1 away of these on New Year's Eve. The second one will be given away on the 2-year anniversary of the channel in April. If you want to be entered to win the box set, either of the PlayStations or any of the future prizes we give away through 2020, as we'll be changing it up a little bit, not only because they're coming out with a PS5, but because we want to up the ante and give away twice as many prizes. So after the 600,000 subscriber mark, we're going to move the PS4s to the 50,000 subscriber marks in between the major 100s, and at 700, 800, 900, and 1 million, we'll be giving away VR Oculus Rift headsets, the ones that are Oculus Go. It's all inclusive. You don't even need a computer to run them. Super cool. Again, if you want to be entered to win anything, the PlayStations, the limited edition box set, any of the future prizes, all the same rules apply and always will. All you have to do, hit the subscribe button, Then hit the notification bell with notifications turned on, leave a like and a comment on this video, and because it's truly random, the more videos you like and comment on, the better chance you have of winning. All winners will be announced at the end of videos, and if you've missed any of those past announcements, it's real easy to find them. All you gotta do, scroll back through the channel, look in the titles of the videos for winner announcements and the subscription mark, hit that video, then scroll to the end. My name is Michael Roman, this is Everything Always, guys. Thanks for checking out the channel and stick around, we'll be posting again real soon.